And we're back with some headlines. New details revealed on the helicopter that crashed into the Hudson River Thursday, killing 6 people. We're learning it went down during its 8th flight of the day, and the NTSB says there was no flight reporter on board. The tour was carrying a family of 5 from Spain for about 18 minutes before it crashed. The CEO of the tour company the chopper belonged to says the pilot called about needing to refuel minutes before the crash. Pope Francis making an appearance at Palm Sunday Mass at the Vatican earlier this morning as he continues to rest and recover from double pneumonia. The Pope greeting the crowd in St. Peter's Square a few hours ago after his homily reading. The 88-year-old's status for today's Mass was initially uncertain following his weeks-long hospitalization earlier this year. And those are your headlines.
Smartphones, computers, and a host of other electronics are now exempt because President Trump's 145% tariff on Chinese imports. It comes following fears that iPhone prices could skyrocket. Here to react, Sunday Morning Futures anchor Maria Bartiromo. Maria, welcome. It's so great to see you this Sunday.
Hi,
can I just say, I'm just so happy that we're talking about economics and not, gender theory and transitioning and whether you're a girl or I'm a girl anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
With some serious stuff here. Break it down for us.
Yeah, and you know what I love about this, Rachel? These are not just economic issues. These are national security issues.
Amen.
So I would say that the reason that President Trump is putting in these products for exemptions to the 145% tariff on China is because many of these electronic items are important to America's national security. So just to be clear, there are certain exemptions to the 145% tariff that he placed on China. That doesn't mean they're completely exempt from all tariffs. They still fall under the 20% tariff that the president put in a long time ago, which relates to national security issues. And these are things like smartphones, computers, laptops, as well as the machines that make semiconductors. And that's really what you want to zero in on, because these are memory chips. Of course, 90% of advanced semiconductor chips are made in Taiwan, and those chips are used in our military. So President Trump is being real surgical here in terms of what he's zeroing in on to alleviate the heavier tariff. And that's really an important story. Machines, apparatus for manufacture of semiconductor devices, electronic integrated circuits, all of these things that are important to America's national security. And I've said from day one, these tariffs are not just about getting manufacturing to the United States. It's not just about raising revenue. It's also about ensuring America is protected so that we are not reliant on communist China for important things. So that's the scoop on these tariffs exemptions that we're talking about this morning.
And I bet you have a bunch of guests who are also going to weigh in on this.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about this soft economic war between the United States and China, because as President Trump was in the White House last week battling the cost of trade and tariffs, he deployed Pete Hegseth, our defense secretary, to the Panama Canal to battle communist China there. So this is an economic soft war that goes deep. We're talking to the defense secretary this morning. Pete Hegseth is my first guest, so that he can tell us what went on at the Panama Canal and what he just was able to accomplish in terms of a new partnership with Panama and the United States. The president sending troops there. It's really a fascinating story. We're also talking with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, which is going to be critical because with all of that worry last week about tariffs, the markets and investors need some certainty. And the Speaker just celebrated 100 days, the first 100 days, and he did so with passage of the Senate-approved bill, the budget resolution. So we're going to talk about next steps. They all left for the Easter holiday at this point. But when they come back, it is all in on the president's agenda and getting that big, beautiful bill passed. We'll also talk about the Iran talks happening yesterday with Reza Pahlavi, the former crown prince of Iran. And we'll talk with Stephen Miller, the deputy chief of staff on policy at the White House, to talk about what's next out of the president's agenda. I love the idea that President Trump is needling and, turning the screws on our adversaries. On the one hand, China, and trying to de-escalate things, and on the other hand, Iran trying to shut down any escalation there. So we've got a big show coming up. We'll have some breaking news as well, Rach.
You've got a solid lineup, Maria. We can't wait. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you in 15 minutes.
You got it. You heard Taya perform Come Into the Light earlier this hour, and now Taya is going to join us next for another fan favorite.